Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Mini-Man bringing you another Pokemon video, and today, we just joined another league. We just joined Major League Battles Season 2. I was not here for Season 1, I don't know anything about it, but I'm here in Season 2. Anyway, first I want to say a quick thing about the Ocean League. I know I said all these things about it, and I am still in it and still playing, but I wasn't really able to get the videos out. And I didn't want to start halfway through the season in the beginning. I lost like 3 of the videos, so I just decided not to record that. Unfortunately, like, it's a really exciting league, and if I make playoffs, which right now it's looking really good, then I will record the playoffs just because, you know, the playoffs. But I don't want to just record halfway through. But I am going to record this league, and yeah. So this is our draft analysis video. So let's get right into it. Alright. First, here we have Mew. Mew is not the first thing we drafted. Actually, it's the second, but we're going in order, in a different order anyway. So just second draft, we picked up Mew. Yes, it was still there. Just so you know, one of the weirdest drafts I have ever seen. All right, I'm just gonna say that. So there were many tier 3s that were picked up, like in the very beginning of Magic, and tier 2s and other stuff, and some weird megas that were picked up earlier on that shouldn't have been. And Landorus Therian went undrafted the whole time. Yeah, that's right, you heard that. But we're not gonna worry about that. First thing is, our second mon, we picked up Mew. Obviously, Mew can do anything. Everybody knows that. Look, it can do anything. Everyone, I don't need to get into detail. It can set up Stealth Rocks, it can defog, it can run a Choice Scarf and run like Earthquake and the Elemental Punches, or it can run a Choice Scarf. Special moves that it has. It's actually insane. Extremely powerful, and obviously it knows it can run Taunt and Roost. Taunt, Roost, U-Turn still learns, and you can give it Psychic just for raw stab, and then yeah, you can run Taunt, Roost, Toxic, and Psychic, especially defensive or just physically defensive, and it's just insane. It's absolutely wild. This thing can do anything, and it's almost impossible to prep for Mew, which is why I love this mon. And the only reason I didn't draft it first is because I wanted to try something new, because I drafted it first in the last league. But if it's gonna be there, like in the second round, I have to pick it up. There's no way. Okay. All right, and as my tier 2. I picked up Gliscor. I was thinking about some other things. I was thinking about picking up something else, but I decided to go with Gliscor because I decided that, I don't know, I figured I just got something that can be run specially defensive very well, or anything really defensive, but this thing can be run specially defensive very well. And I wanted a physical tank that I can trust, and Gliscor is that. Now I know Gliscor is not the best mon in drafts because of HP Ice. It just absolutely gets destroyed, but I know that, and I have watched out for it, and I can watch out for it, and I know what mons to be careful with Gliscor, and I can always run Protect just in case. And honestly, it's just crazy. If you can get around the fact of HP Ice, then this thing can do a bunch of things. It's Stealth Rocks, and it has Defog. You can run Roost also. I know, very similar to Mew, right? But you can run Roost also. And then Earthquake, U-Turn, Knock Off. It's great. And then what makes it even better, Poison Heal, Toxic Orb. It's insane. You get 1/8 of your max HP each turn. And if you combo that with Protect, that's 25% of your health each turn, like after a hit. Have 25% of your health back, and having Roost. This thing is just so hard to take down with its constant recovery. It's actually amazing. I just think it's so good. I just gotta be careful of its ice weakness, which is really bad. But besides that, it can be pretty insane. Also, it has a really high attack stat. Well, not really. It has a high attack stat, which is nothing to mess around with, and you gotta be careful with that. It can hit some hard earthquakes. And overall, it's just really good, and I just wanted something a little tankier. And after that, then I got something especially defensive because Mew is already can be run anything, so I decided, well, since I got something physically defensive, I gotta go for specially defensive next, something really good. And I already had a, no I don't, but I decided I want to get a dragon type because I wanted to get a dragon steel fairy core. And even this late in the game, that's still good to have. Just so you know, the first mon I picked up, you know, it wasn't fairy, dragon, or steel type. So, but I wanted to start it off, and also this thing pairing it with poison type, it's like the only dragon. Not the only, but it's one of the few dragons that can actually like take like fairy type hits. Like it can take special fairy hits. It can take like moonblasts and stuff with its insanely high special defense. And if you pair that with an assault vest, that makes it even better. But there's no reason to. It's just already really high. Like that, and you can also run it especially offensive. And the other reason I mainly wanted this, it learns Toxic Spikes, and that is huge. I just think Toxic Spikes is the best. It's just one of the best moves, alright? And then this thing also just hits really hard with Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb, and it gets adaptability if you want it to be specs adaptability. It just does insane damage. That's amazing. With like Sludge Wave and Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor. Or if it's defensive, it can run Poison Point or Poison Touch. Both of them are good moves. I think Poison Point is better if it's defensive, because if something attacks you, you just poison it, and you could always just run Draco Meteor and stuff like that. It's just really good. Paired up with Leftovers too, so it's slowly recovering. Takes special hits like a boss, and I just think it was a really good tier 3 to pick up at the time. And as my next tier 3, I decided to pick up Galvantula. Now, I noticed Galvantula was there, and right now at this point in the game, all of these mods, they are all very good at setting up. Oh, look at this. Don't believe it learns default. No, it doesn't. Look, this thing learns Sticky Web. This is one of the few Sticky Web users that is actually good. There's like 3 or 4. It being this, Araquanid, Ribombee, and I think Shuckle is sorta good. I think I'm missing something. Oh well. I think that other book, Masquerain maybe, but there's very few Sticky Web users that are actually good or viable, and this thing is one of them definitely. It gets compound eyes, so you can give it thunder and hit pretty often. It also gets a Volt Switch, which is very nice, and Bug Buzz, so it gets like the perfect stab moves, and then it gets Sticky Web. And Sticky Web is awesome to have. I don't need to bring this all the time, but I can bring this against teams that have these high threats. Like say someone has like what's a good example? Salamence, Garchomp, Lopunny Mega. Oh wait, I have Lopunny Mega. Yeah, that was the other mon that I drafted first, by the way. We're gonna get into that later. Say somebody brings something like a Mega Beedrill with the Sticky Webs, and then I would be able to outspeed it with something else. I don't know how much speed it would have. It would be like 300 or so, I think. But I'd be able to outspeed it with something else, because Sticky Web, for those high offensive teams, Sticky Web just comes so much in handy. I don't think I'll be needing this mon that much. Like, I know how good Sticky Webs are, but I mean, against like stall teams and stuff, I'm not going to be bringing this. And so yeah. Alright, next is Delphox. Originally I drafted Blaziken because I was just about to draft Darmanitan, and then it got taken like 2 drafts before me, and I was awful because Darmanitan was amazing. And then I decided to go for Blaziken because I wanted a physical fire type, and I figured Blaziken was the next bet for a fast one. But then I realized that my team was sort of lacking in the special department, alright? At this point in the match, actually, I think I drafted something else before this. But anyway, the point is I was lacking. I had Galvantula, and that was pretty much it, because I was using this as a tank. It was this, and maybe this, and not really Mew, because, yeah. And so I changed it after the draft when I noticed it. This is why I changed it, because after the draft I realized that I needed a special type. and I wanted a fire type, and I realized Delphox was there. And I personally think Delphox is really underrated. Like, it has good special defense, it has high special attack, and you pair that with specs, it's doing insane damage. It also has high speed, like it outspeeds a lot of mons. It outspeeds any base 100 mon, which is huge. And you can run a Choice Scarf, which actually, I did run Choice Scarf with it to outspeed a certain other mon that had 437 base speed. I believe that is what its base speed is, in the very first match, which I will be posting very shortly. Yeah, probably like tomorrow it'll be up. The very first match I already played, by the way. So yeah, and this thing is just amazing, because I don't think I need this ability really, but it could become an handy magician, you know, steal the other Pokemon's ability. But the point is, this thing also is very good with trick, and you can trick your Choice Scarf to something else. To, like, for example, a big threat. You could trick it on a Curse Snorlax. You could trick it on like a Mew or something like big threat. That's not the point. You get the point though. And the thing is, you can use Fire Blast or Flamethrower, both really good. Psychic, it learns Psyshock too. It's got a bunch of I cannot talk right now. It's got a bunch of coverage moves. It has Dazzling Gleam, Dark Pulse. Wait, it has a Dark Pulse, right? No, it doesn't. Okay, oh my bad. It has Dazzling Gleam, Grass Knot, which is huge. It can be good HP Ice against like ground flying types like Landorus and stuff. Also, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. The point is, it's got a lot of moves. You can do a bunch of different stuff with it. You can run Calm Mind with it also. It has Wish if you want to try to run it specially defensive, which is not impossible because it's not the worst. With defense, it's pretty good. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with it, honestly. I think it's underrated. I don't believe it should be tier 4, and that's why I traded for it, because I know this thing deserves to be tier 3 in my opinion. And anyway, on to the next pick. I wanted a Steel type, and what better Steel type than to go into something that can... My team is already looking sort of stallish, so I might as well go all out and get something that can set up rocks and then just roar things over and over. And that could be getting rid of a lot of threats, and until something special comes in, I don't have to swap this thing. Also, you can give it Rest, Chesto Berry, just to keep it alive even longer, and all you need to do is give it Heavy Slam, Roar, Stealth Rock, Heavy Slam, Rest, and then a Chesto Berry. And it's just simple as that, and you just... And then plus defense, obviously, whatever. Not, obviously it wouldn't be that nature, but... Or you could just run it specially so that it's just not as bad in that department, because it honestly doesn't have the worst special defense. Point is, it's just got really high defense, and it can just take most defensive hits. Which is, I just figured it was just a good mon to pick up for tier 5. I was looking at him, and there wasn't really anything else. And now we're going to get on to the rest. And some of this you might be very surprised with, but yeah. Then, obviously Lopunny Mega is actually, this was what I drafted first. Alright, so, I drafted Lopunny Mega first because it was there. I was the 5th pick and it was still there. And, come on, Lopunny Mega is insane, alright? First off, you can run Last Resort, Substitute, Power-Up Punch or something like that with it. And you can pretty much sweep a team if you've like hurt most of their things decently. If you just bring it in last, it completely sweeps the team. Or it can just sweep the team with Drain Punch, or obviously High Jump Kick, but high risk, high reward by doing insane damage there. High Jump Kick, Return, like it's got great moves. You can also, it learns like a Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Zen Headbutt, I believe. No, it doesn't, but it also learns Thunder Punch. Like, it's got the coverage. It's also got Quick Attack in case you need it. Probably won't. And it's got insane. It's got, like, look at this ability. Alright. It's got Limber, which is good. And it has oh wait, no, my bad. I'm opening big. Forget about what I just said. It has the ability Scrafty, so no matter what, like, nothing wants to swap into this really, because you can't swap into a ghost type because it has scrappy and it affects those. Also, its attack stat is honestly just insane, bro. No, plus speed minus special, whatever. The point is, its attack stat is insane and its speed is also insane. It's like they're both like right there. And then its defense and special defense are also very high, so it can usually take a hit and then just fire back. Like, it's going to take a hit most of the time, which is insane. And this 340 damage right there, but plus attack 374 all the way up to 3. That's insane damage, and it's insanely fast. And if you pair that with Drain Punch and it gets its health back, that's just crazy. And with Ice Punch just to counter like Dragon types, it just got everything in my opinion. And my favorite thing is like, whoops. My favorite thing is just like Power Punch. You just do that and then just win. Like, that's insane. If you can just press Power Punch and then just go with Last Resort and then win the game. Like, you just get a little bit of boost. Like, wait. What the heck happened, brother? Speed just increased. I must have been doing something. Yeah, 408 attack. That's what I thought it was. Oh, well, yeah, you can either have the faster speed or the faster attack. You're mainly gonna go for the speed, though. But look, Last Resort, 140 damage. You just kill everything, bro. If you got their only steel type, like low, then everything is just dead, and it's insane. It's just got so much damage. I just had to pick Lumpity Mega first. Next, Azumarill. Well, Azumarill, I picked it as my first free mon because I had enough points, and I was just looking to get a tier 1 and some other decent stuff. Because I had a decent amount of points, right? So I decided as my tier 1 I wanted Azumarill, which was the only good fairy type left, really. There really wasn't anything besides Azumarill, besides like a Grand Bull, you know. So we had to get a good fairy, and if Azumarill's still left, this thing's insane. Alright, all 3 of its abilities are viable. So say there's a big grass threat, we run Sap Sipper. And say there's like a good fire or ice type mon, like fire or ice type mon, we just run Thick Fat just to make sure, even less damage than it already would be. And it's got huge power, and pair that up with the Normalium Z Belly Drum, and then just like sweep a team with Aqua Jet. Like, you always got, like, the thing is, the other team always has to be scared of this thing Belly Drum and have something to counter it. And that's what I love. I can mess with their head. I can mess with the other person's head, and they'll think I'm running Belly Drum, and they'll have something to counter that. But really, say I'll just be like Thick Fat or Sap Sipper, and then I'll have Whirlpool, and they won't realize it, and they'll already be trapped. And then I'll just Parasong and Protect and Rest, and like it's a great trapper because you never know what it's gonna bring. And with 100 HP, it can be defensive or especially defensive depending on what you want it to be. And it's got enough to health to take the hit. And pair it up with leftovers with the Protect, you're gonna stall out. And you're just gonna kill something for free just because they're not ready for it. Like, that's why I just love how this thing can be ran like 2 completely different ways. I just think that's awesome. Like, no one's really ready for this thing. I don't know. It's just crazy, bro. Also, you can run it Choice Banded. Not even like Belly Drum Aqua Jet, just Choice Banded Knockoff or Assault Vest, and it just does insane damage. And next, we had to get Pachirisu, bro. Alright, so I'm gonna explain this one. There are a bunch of people memeing, alright? Somebody just picked up Aaron. Someone just picked up, like, Piplup or something. Honestly, there was no really good reason to pick Pachirisu, but I had to meme with her. And when it comes to memeing, this thing is up top there. This thing's one of the memers, bro. It might not look that scary, but if the other person's not ready for me, bro. Hold on, if the other person is not ready for me, oof. let's just say they're not gonna be. Also, it has a volt switch if I need it, but so you like put out the stats a bunch, so it can be like that or whatever. Super Fang, Nuzzle, give it a Citrus Berry. By the way, this is sort of you can do follow, and Follow Me is really good, and doubles, but obviously this isn't doubles, so that's not gonna work. But you could also just run a V-Toxic, obviously, but Super Fang is just a good move. You can just take a big threat and put it down to half health. Like, what are you gonna do about that? And I mean, its stats, like its attack stats, you can't really do anything, so you just laugh at that. But Nuzzle is just a great way of 100% paralyzing the opponent. I just think that's pretty awesome. And then you got Light Screen too. It's just fast bulky sport. I mean, obviously there is much better options to do this, but I had to meme with Pachirisu, and let's be honest, getting owned by Pachirisu, bro, you're not gonna be able to live that one down, alright? So that's why I really wanted to bring it in. It's not necessary. I could obviously trade it for something better, but yeah. And then I got serious and I picked up your boy Virizion. Virizion is a monster, right? I don't know why it's tier 4. I don't know why people think it's trash. I mean, this thing is crazy. I've seen it do things that are mind-blowing, alright? With Justified, bro, if you swap in and predict a knockoff or something, and then you get that attack boost, bro, you get that attack boost by 1, you can just be doing insane damage with the Leaf Blade. Say you get a crit, whatever it is probably dead, let's be honest. If you get that crit, bro, whatever that is probably dead. And like, look at that high special defense, dude. Like, that's insane right there. That's some great, and it's got high HP, special defense, and high speed, bro. And its attack and special attack are both high, so you don't know what it's gonna run. I could run, never mind. I could run Giga Drain if I'm like recovering with leftovers and stuff, and then rest. It has Roar, Toxic, Taunt. It's got a bunch of good moves, and it's just, this thing can be pretty unpredictable, and it's all around got good stats, and I needed a grass type, so I decided to pick this thing up. Honestly, I don't want to go into too much explaining. Also, Focus Blast as a stab special move, which is great. Point is, this thing is just really good, and if you're not prepared for it, this thing can destroy your team. I have seen it done before, right? I'm not going to say who, but I've seen someone 6-0 a person, and 5 of the kills was with Virizion behind a substitute, right? Something was faster than it. It broke the sub and then just died. And then something slower than it, he swapped it out and somehow predicted a dark move again, got the substitute back up, just destroyed the rest of the team, bro. Like, couldn't do anything. I've seen this thing take out Tapu Lele, bro. Right? This thing's insane. Just don't mess around with it. And now, this is where you're thinking I'm crazy, right? This is the 3rd electric type on my team. You're thinking, bro, what are you doing? Right? What? Who do you think you are? Alright, first off, Pachirisu doesn't count as an electric type. Well, no, that's not true, but you get the point. It's a different type of mod, alright? But I obviously could still trade Galvantula or Pachirisu, but I had enough for a tier 2, bro. And I had to get Magnezone, alright? Magnezone is my boy, alright? Magnezone's... I hate how people don't see this thing. Like, the fact this thing is even in tier 2 is just like a disgrace to it. And I am going to use it anytime I get the chance. This is it's not even my favorite Pokemon. It's just, this thing is amazing. Alright, this thing is, look at this special attack. 130 special attack stat. And sure, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but with the Choice Scarf, you can get up to 360 speed, which is pretty high. And you don't even need to. Also, with the Z-move, bro, it's just one-hitting whatever comes in. It's honestly insane. And why I love this thing so much, all 3 of its abilities are viable. Say you run Sturdy with a Z set, so that something that counters it takes it down to 1 health, and then you take out like a big threat. Like, for example, Zygarde, say you Sturdied up, and then you Z Flash Cannon. I have done that before, just not Sturdy behind a substitute. Analytic goes slower, but my favorite ability, right here, Magpul. This thing, oh my god. I have destroyed so many teams, like, just with this thing's magnet pull, bro. Rip teams apart. Where this thing really shines? Celestial is a monster, right? Bring this thing in, magnet pull, alright? Just so you know, magnet pull, the other opponent can't swap. You go in with magnet pull, Celesteela, gone. Any, like, big steel threat, pretty much, in general, just gets destroyed by this thing. Magnet pull, Celesteela's gone. Caesar Mega, is that a problem? Magnet pull, HP fire, dead. Like, it's insane. I have done it on so many things. Magnet pull on Magearna. After a while, I won the fight, because Thunderbolt was a stab, and it wasn't not very effective. And it just couldn't touch me. Magnet pool on a Mawile Mega, bro. I was able to live on low health, but still lived. Killed the Mawile Mega. I take out the big threats with this thing, right? This thing is insane. And mainly Celesteela. If someone has Celesteela and they dare bring it against me, bro, they are dumb. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. What else? There's other steel type mods, brother. I am moving around right now because I'm just wild. This thing is just so good. Discharge if you want the chance to paralyze, but honestly, this is what I usually want. I either want Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Volt Switch, and then some hidden power move, and an Assault Vest, or obviously all of this and a hidden power move, and then a Choice Scarf, or what I've been using lately, which has been working very well. You get the Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, say hidden power, say it's hidden power fire, and then substitute. Because this works all the time. I bring it in on something that's like somewhat like of a threat. I mean, I bring it in on something that it counters, and the person immediately swaps out, and I get up a substitute, and I get up a free Thunderbolt or a free Flash Cannon. That's just insane damage. Unless they swap into like Chansey, like I'm staying in and just attacking that thing just to do insane damage. It's so good, dude. It's so good. Substitute with the my bad, Steelium Z or the Thundery Z. It's just insane. Now, obviously, this team could still use some work. Get rid of Pachirisu and get something good. But I gotta use Pachirisu to match first just because I can. Anyway, that is it. This is too long, bro. But anyway, bye guys. See you later.